Howdy booktube, there's a plane, Howdy booktube, Nikki here. I went to the world's biggest secondhand book sale and today I'm going to show you what I bought. This is a haul. Bought a stack of books at the Lifeline bookfest, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes. But first I want to tell you about two new releases. The first one is Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I'm a huge fan of the Illuminae Files series. Amy Kaufman is obviously one of the authors of that. I've met her, she's lovely, and I was super bummed that I wasn't going to be able to go to the event for this in my city. I was like, I can't get my book signed. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. And then I walk into Dimmicks and they had some signed copies. So this is signed by both Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I have their other series they have. It's like Titanic in space. What's it called? Stars. I can see the cover. They're like reaching for each other and they're like in space. I haven't read that either. I don't really know much about this except that it is a science fiction and I think it involves aliens. Woohoo! Sounds great. Also, this cover is pretty swish. I also had to pick up Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I'm a big fan of the Throne of Glass series. It is a fantasy series, and by this point in the series, we're following now a bunch of different characters, which is good because the main couple totally ticking me off at times. Stop smooching and go punch somebody. I don't know. I believe this one follows the character of Kale, who was absent from the last book, and he's a beloved character. And lots of people were super mad that Kale just disappeared in the last book. But this is what he was up to, while the other characters were up to the stuff that they were up to, which involved lots of smooching. What else, Trev? It took me ages to figure out what was exclusive about this edition. I was looking for like a short story or like art inside or something. The cover was the exact same as everywhere else I'd seen it, and I was like, whatever, it's cheap, I'm just gonna buy it anyway, even though it has this annoying sticker for no apparent reason. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's the book itself. So I pulled off the dust jacket. No, this is just normal. And then I saw it. Oh, that's really pretty. I think this is the artist that inspired the cover for one of her other books in the Song of... the Song of what? The Thorn of Mist and Fury or whatever. Thorn of Courts and Roses. For the last book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I don't know if that's right. I can't read the name of the person because I don't have my glasses on. Fun fact of the day, I wear glasses, but not when I film because glare is annoying. So now we are on to the books from Lifeline Bookfest. Lifeline is a suicide prevention hotline and it's a not-for-profit, and they have sort of op shops, thrift shops, and big clothing sales, but a couple of times a year they have a huge massive book sale, which is now the largest secondhand book sale in the entire world. Yeah. So it happens twice in my city. If you live in Queensland, I'm pretty sure that they happen in the Gold Coast and Ipswich and perhaps even further north. I'm pretty sure that they are around the country in other places as well, but I don't know, so you're gonna have to look it up. All the money obviously goes to funding the Lifeline. They have a suicide hotline. They also have a chat line online. I said line so many times right now. One of my favorite things to do at Bookfest is look for old series that I used to read as a kid that I'm trying to recollect. I'm one book short of owning the entire Animorphs series, and that is because of Bookfest. I got most of my Animorphs books there, but I didn't find any Animorphs books I didn't have this time. But I did find a bunch of Babysitter Club books. Whoop whoop. I don't know if we already have these because ours are packed away, but we are missing a bunch of the earlier ones, I think. So I just picked up whatever was there. I also found a couple of Little Sister books. I remember reading these. I loved these so much when I was a little youngin'. I wanted glasses like Karen because she had 2 pairs of glasses. This is the one where she gets 2 pairs of glasses, and I wanted 2 pairs of glasses, and now I have 1 pair of glasses and I don't wear them while filming, so you never see them anyway. Okay, cool, moving on. I also picked up 1 Goosebumps book. I want to collect the Goosebumps books as well because I never read them as a kid at all. I was always too terrified. I was like, no, it's gonna freak me out, but I never read them, so how would I know? The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. Why would you? That's a terrible camp name. That's like Camp Wannaweep from Kim Possible. I did pick up Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. It's a train and someone dies and then someone's got to figure out who killed them, right? I haven't read a single Agatha Christie. This one seems like a good place to start because I can read it and I can watch the recent movie. Also, it's a pretty cool cover and it's in pretty swish condition, so we good. I picked up The Far Seekers by Isabel Carmody. I'm rushing because my camera is flashing the battery thing at me. This is the second book in the Obernewton Chronicles, which is kind of a fantasy, but it's like set post a nuclear event. So the world as we know it sort of existed, but now it's like a world without technology. And then there's these people who are misfits because they have special powers, probably from like, I don't know, something nuclear. I read the first one and I enjoyed it. I want to read this one, and then if I like that, I'll read the rest of the series because the rest of the books are way longer. This one's not too big, but then they get pretty freaking massive. So I'm pretty keen to read that. Also, Eagle on the cover. First one had a cat on the cover, so that's pretty exciting. Picked up Soulless by Gail Carriger. Oh, Carriger? I'm gonna stop saying that name in so many different ways. This is an Alexia Tabarotti novel. It's set in the Victorian era, and I think it's about a woman who doesn't have a soul, or she has too much soul, and then she comes across other creatures like vampires and werewolves and stuff, and then somehow they don't have a soul, or they do have a soul, and she cancels them out. She's probably soulless because that's the title. She probably doesn't have a soul, and then she takes their soul. I don't know. I just feel like it's a book that's gonna have a lot of soul. Somebody stop me. I've heard really positive things about this. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna be down with the Victorian era stuff, but if it works, it works. Like most book fests, I picked up another Stephen King, and that was Insomnia, which looks pretty freaky. It's about a guy named Ralph. I think he starts not being able to sleep to the point where he's hallucinating, and then things start to get really strange. Picked up, I don't know how to pronounce this, Erebos. I feel like if something isn't like a normal English word that I'm familiar with, I immediately put a Spanish accent on it. I think it's because the only other language that I've learned is Spanish. I'm not very good at it. This is by Ursula Poznansky, and it's been compared to Ready Player One a lot, but it's about a video game, I think, that makes you do things in the real world to get further in the game. And we follow this main character, Nick, and it's like, how far is he gonna go in the real world to be really good at this game? Sounds really interesting. Alright, so my camera just died, and in an attempt not to move my tripod, I climbed underneath the tripod between my lights and then out the door to the next room to get my charged battery. Dudes. Anyway, plot wise, this doesn't sound that close to Ready Player One, so I don't know where those comparisons are coming from. People just like to compare things. You know, like every young adult dystopian is the Hunger Games. It's the next Hunger Games. Like there aren't other books in the world, or other genres even. Sometimes it's not even dystopian and they're still like, it's the next Hunger Games. No, it's not, mate. The next Hunger Games will be when Suzanne Collins writes another book and she's like, it's the next Hunger Games. That's when we'll have a next Hunger Games. I'm gonna stop now. This is getting crazy. I also picked up a childhood favorite, Matilda by Roald Dahl. And when I say childhood favorite, I mean childhood favorite of other people because I've never read this. I don't think. I may have, but I don't remember. I loved the movie when I was a kid though. I really like this edition. It is pretty much perfect, except that it looks like someone dropped it. But that's okay because I drop things all the time. So yeah, I probably dropped it. Other than that, it looks unread. But I really like the illustrations from Quentin Blake. I just think they make the book, so I'm really glad that I got this edition. Pretty pumped to read that. I can't believe that that's all the books that I bought. I feel like I bought more, but at the same time, I'm glad that I didn't go completely ham and just lose my mind and just buy all of the books because, you know, I could have done it. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you've read any of those books or which one I should read first. I still have to read all of these. This is my unread bookshelf. I'm gonna go and try and Tetris these into this shelf behind me. Wish me luck. But in the meantime, drop us a like if you liked this video, subscribe if you want to see more of my crazy book buying and the times that I actually read books, which should be coming soon. I also have a comic haul that I will have posted recently, and I will see you next time.